let us understand about Git rebasing. What is this? The same project. Okay, we were talking about this, right? So, let us say there is one example here. You have a main line here, C3 is your current master. Okay, you are working on a new experiment, you are working on a new project, right? And you have created a subline C4. This is your experimental work. This is same as your issue number 53. Okay, you are working on C4, right? So, you have these two things and C3 remains your master. Let us say this is the scenario, right? The easiest way to integrate the branches, right? How do you integrate C4 into C3, right? One way is that you can use the merge commit. You can merge them here and bring C5 and let this be the master. Okay, this can be done, right? Because I am working C3 till this is fine. I have created C4, right? This C4 can be added here. This C4 can be added here. So, I can bring this C4 changes and call it as commit C5. Merge the C4 into C3 and call that as C5. Again I repeat, merge the C4 content changes into C3 and I call it as C5. So, my latest commit is C5. This C5 contains, C3 was my earlier master. Now, C5 contains the changes made because of this experiment C4, right. So, it performs a three-way merge between two latest branch snapshots, that is C3 and C4. This is my main and this is my branch. Okay, right, and they both of them have a common ancestor C2. Only when there is a common ancestor C2 you can do this kind of merging, right. You can create a new snapshot and commit. So, I created C5 and I committed it, simple process, right. C5 is my latest master. Okay. Now, however, there is another way. You can take the patch of the change that was introduced in C4 and reapply it on top of C3. Okay. Instead of doing merge commit, merge commit means if for both of this there is a common ancestor, you can club them and make C5. The other way is that, right, you can take the patch of the change that was introduced in C4 and reapply it on top of C3. Okay. In Git this is called as rebasing. Right. With the rebase command, you can take all the changes that were committed on one branch, that is C4, and replay them on a different branch, that is C3. Okay. So, what we do for that? For this you have to just check out experiment, that is the new change, that is C4, and rebase to master, and rebase is to master. So, what does it looks like? Something like this, see here. Okay. So, what I have done now? I am not doing merge commit here. Instead, I am applying those changes C4, right, on C3, applying them on C3, right. So, C4 has come here. So, this becomes my new master. Okay. I will explain this difference with a simple example. Let me come here. Let us see this example and then go back to understand how rebase works. Okay. See this example. Git merge you understood. What was that? I had commit A, B, C. B was my common ancestor, right? And I got a new project. So, what I did? I started working on a separate branch. But parallelly somebody else was making changes C, D, G. Somebody was working on C, D, G. Okay. So, what happened here? In what I did here, when I had these things, we actually merged them to G. See, sorry, this C, D was done later, E, F was done by me, this somebody else have done. So, we are using git merge. What we are doing? We are trying to merge both of them to G. We are trying to merge both the CD and EG to G. This is what we are calling it as merge. Right. Now, G has the changes done by this one and this fellow also. This is git merge. What is git rebase? See, I was working on B, from B I have taken this copy, but somebody else made the change C and D, right. rebase means whatever changes you have made, you take it and attach after the latest modifications. D was my latest modification. You are shifting this, see the diagram, this EFG I have taken and shifted here in front of the latest change. Instead of merging them together, I am attaching this completely, cutting it from B, taking it to D, adding that main pipeline to D and making this as my main branch. This is rebase. So, your base from B is removed and made as D. Okay, that is why it is called rebasing, right. I hope it is clear. Git merge, in merge what we are doing, we are, this is separate line, this is separate line, both of them we are bringing to a single line, single master we are bringing them. Whereas in rebase, though you started working on B, by taking copy of B you were working on the changes, somebody else made some changes, when you wanted to commit your new changes into the main line, you will not do it based on B. You will go and find out the new master, on top of this master you will apply your changes, that is rebase. Okay. On top of your new master you will apply your changes, this is rebase. So, both are fine, either you can do merge or rebase, anything is fine, they are different ways of doing, right. Nothing, final output remains same using with merge as well as the rebase, right. So, now let us go back, right. So, what we did, what is rebasing? You can take the patch of the change that was introduced in C4 and reapply it on top of C3. C3 was your latest change, here you put your C4 instead of doing merge, right. With the rebase command you can take all the changes that were committed on one branch, that is C4, replay them on a different branch C3. So, check out the experiment and then master it, right. So, it looks something like this. So, C4 was here earlier, C3 was your master, C3 was your master, you bought this changes C4 on top of C3 and you made C4 as your master, right. This operation works by going to the common ancestor of two branches, right, that was C2, the one you are on and the one you are rebasing onto. Get the difference introduced by each commit, get the difference introduced by each commit of the branch, saving those difference to temporary files, that is finding out what is the difference, right, resetting the current branch to same commit. It is basically telling that you have to find out the latest master and on top apply the changes C4, right. See, at this point you can go back to the master branch and do a fast forward merge, simple as that. Check out the master, go to the latest master, on top you merge your experiment, on top you merge your changes, right. So, C1, C2, C3 was there, C4 was your current master, but you are working parallelly on C4. Stop this, not stop this, let this be here like this, you find out the latest master, that is your C3, on top of C3 merge the experiment, merge the experiment. So, this becomes your latest master, right. Both merge and rebase are doing same thing, the approach is different, Here we are doing fast forward, instead of doing three-way merge, we are doing fast forward. Fast forward means applying one top on the other, again another on top of the other, on top of the other, right. So, this is about Git rebasing. I hope you understood the difference between Git merge and Git rebase. Both the tasks do the same thing, right. This also finally reaches the output, the changes are reflecting there, here also changes are reflecting, right. So, there are different strategies of merging different changes into a single main line. This is about Git rebase.